absolutely exciting budget. The concept of trust first, scrutinized later, I think stands very well with the taxpayers. There's one specific question that I'd like to ask you, though. There's been a lot of clamor around the fact that our tax law has a lot of provisions which call for artificial valuations. So, for example, when you're doing listed company transactions, depending on the date of signing and date of closing, there's some artificial valuation norms that are set out in the rules to the tax law, which actually are causing listed company transactions to become very difficult. We are all hoping that in the new tax bill that we see within a week, some of this will be addressed. Is the government also looking at reorienting the rules in order to simplify the multiplicity of these valuation norms, particularly when, sir, your own government has a tax law which, for the purpose of transfer pricing, for example, allows a fair value to be determined based on the facts and circumstances of the case. So there's a strong case to be made for these manifold valuation norms to go away from the rules and the Act. So if you have any comments on this in the context of introduction of the new tax bill.
Well, I think this is certainly a good question. I think the more complex things we make, the more difficult it is, the more interpretative it would become. So I think our efforts are really towards that, trying to simplify. Now, some of the elements of, like in the new law, new bill which we are bringing, some of these elements we have upfront addressed in this itself, rather than trying to really say that we'll just put it there and then, because it will take time, you know, to be deliberated and get passed. So like TDS, TCS thing, you know, we did some rationalization earlier. We did so many rationalization in this, budget itself. So that will be a continuous process of exchange. Even, for example, arm's length pricing also, many people have a lot of suggestions on us. That means how soon we do it. What is the time we take to do the ALP? What is the capacity we have to really conclude them quickly? So therefore, just because, you know, we have an ALP process, it doesn't mean, unless and until we make it efficient, unless and until we make it, you know, timely. So which means that we've got to be really doing the capacity building in our department to do the ALP commensurate with the demand.
Right.
And these are the issues, there's a capacity issues we must address. But all the simplification issues, I think, even if in the new bill, you will find that there are certain things which have been carried over. You will have every chance to give your suggestions, and also the standing committee would also be inviting suggestions from the public, and that those will also be examined.
Mr. Pandey, a lot of the tax experts who joined us on budget day say they might be out of a job if what you've promised of halving the tax code actually goes through. So can you give us a sneak peek of what we should expect or what they should brace themselves for, sir?
Well, I do not know what is the outcome, because what we see will be simple. Whether it will be simple in your eyes or not, I think because it is the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholden, you know. Now the whole thing is, you know, we are making a very sincere attempt. This particular thing, in other sovereigns also, this has been attempted. Some people have taken years. 4 years, 5 years, to change the new law, to rewrite the law. We had some groundwork earlier in some committees, yes, which they did the work. But this work, this piece of the work, bringing it has been done in about 6 months. So obviously, you know, while we will say that we have done a great job, we don't know. I mean, so we have to, the suspense is, the jury will still be out.
Yes, the jury is out, and we'll have to wait for you to actually bring the bill.
But what I can say is that the words will be halved, chapters will be halved, redundant provisions will go. There will be a lot of these things which are clubbing, they will come. Speech will be direct, and probably what you call assessment tier or something may vanish. So what we are saying is like trying to say something very clearly, more directly, and that has been our, guiding principles. To what extent we have been able to actually work out, because it's a big team that works and there's so many people who work, and whether the whole guiding principles have been fully kept, I think we will be open to criticism also. But we are making a very sincere effort for reform.
Sir, I can tell